Hello students, today I am going to discuss the topic accounting equation. This topic is of accountancy, subject accountancy, class 11. Okay, so the first thing which you need to understand is some basic terms of accounting so as to proceed with the chapter. Basic terms. Okay. The first term which you need to understand is capital. What is a capital? In accounting language, capital is the amount invested. Capital is the amount invested by the businessman. Businessman. Businessman is also called proprietor. In accounting language, we call him proprietor. It is the amount invested by the businessman in the business from time to time. Okay. To start or expand the business. All right. Capital will be the amount invested. Amount invested means the cash or investment in bank or any in the form of any asset by the businessman. Businessman is the proprietor in the business. He will invest some amount in the business from time to time. Initially, first he will invest at the beginning of the business, at initial start of the business, then further in future to expand his business operations. All right. Then second term is drawings. What is drawings? Drawings is the amount or benefit withdrawn by proprietor from business for personal use. All right. So the drawings will be the benefit or amount withdrawn by the proprietor. It will be the amount or benefit. Benefit means he takes any benefit from the business for his personal expense. Okay. Withdrawn by the proprietor. Proprietor is the businessman. He withdraws from the business. Why does he withdraw? For his personal use, for doing his personal expenses. If he withdraws some cash or if he pays any of his personal expense through the use of business cash. So these things are called drawings. Okay. Drawings will be resulting in decrease in the capital. Capital is the amount of investment by the businessman in the business. Okay. If he withdraws some amount from the capital, therefore it will be called drawings. Therefore negative of capital is drawings. Okay. It will decrease the capital. Then third thing which we need to understand is liability. Liability. Liability is the financial obligation. Financial obligation to outside parties. To outside parties from events already happened. Okay. That is financial obligation means we have to pay someone in financially. Obligation is that we have to make the payment financial. Financial means in cash we have to pay. To whom we have to pay? To the outside parties. Why we have to pay? For the events already happened. So what kind of example can be of a liability? Like for say we have purchased something. Businessman has purchased any goods on credit. On credit means promise to pay later on. Credit means promise to pay later on. All right. He has purchased some goods from the third party and promised him that he will be paying him later on, right? That will become the liability of the business because he has to pay to the third party, to the outside party later on. So it becomes financial obligation that we have to pay him financially to the outside party for events already happened. What event has happened? We have purchased from him on credit. That is, we have promised him that we will be paying you later on. You give us the goods or the asset right now and we will pay you later on. All right, that is called liability. Okay, the next thing which we need to understand is asset. What is an asset? An asset is any owned physical object or right having money value. In a business, if we have any object which is physically owned by the business, or there is any right to do something in the business which is having a money value, that is called asset. Okay, and the asset will be helping, it helps in generating cash flow in the business, in generating cash flow in the business. What type of objects will be having money value and will be generating cash flow in the business? Let us say we have a land and building of the business. What does land and building serve the purpose? It serves the purpose of doing us in business. All right, it is a physical object and it has a money value. Obviously our building will have some money value and it is helping us in doing the business. We are conducting the business activities on the building of the business, therefore it will be helping us in generating the cash flow of the business. Okay, land and building or car which is used in business purpose, that can be our asset. Okay, cash or bank balance, these are the things which are owned by us in the physical form. They are with our business in the physical form. They have a money value, plus they are helping us to generating the cash flow in the business. All right, these types of things or objects are called asset. Okay, then the next thing which we need to understand is receipts. Receipts means financial inflows of cash, financial inflows of business. Okay, financial inflows means in the form of cash or receipt of checks, etc. Inflows means these are received by the business of the business. These are called receipts. Then receipts can be subdivided into two types of receipts. What are the two types of receipts? First type is capital receipts. Capital receipts are those which are non-recurring. Non-recurring means we do not receive them regularly. They reoccur very rarely. Okay, like the capital investment in the business, capital investment made by the businessman in the business. It is a capital receipt. Then we have taken some loan. Our business has taken some loan from the outside party. Okay, from any bank or financial institution. That also occurs very rarely. Okay, plus they have they are a major receipt, major amount of receipt. These types of receipts are very heavy in amount. Like when we start a business, the capital investment is obviously very high, like 10 lakh, 12 lakh. Okay, and the loan which we take from banks or financial institutions in the business, those are also of very major amounts. So the example of capital receipts is capital investment, loans from outside parties, from banks, etc. Then second type of receipts is revenue receipts. Revenue receipts. What are the revenue receipts? These are recurring in nature. Recurring in nature means they reoccur very frequently. Like they can reoccur daily also, quarterly also, monthly, weekly. Okay. They reoccur after a certain period of time or daily basis, on daily basis. Okay. And these are the outcome of business activities. Okay, we do business, they are the outcome of those business activities. Example, sales income, commission received, etc. Okay, when we sell our goods, the business in which goods are the things in which we deal. Okay, when we sell our goods, we get income, and we do it very frequently, reoccurring nature. Obviously we do say regular sales, and these are due to the business activity. Obviously our purpose is to do the sale of the goods, therefore it is the outcome of our business activities. So the receipts are of two types: capital receipts and revenue receipts. Then the third thing which we have is expenditure. Okay, expenditure means amount paid by business, the payments which the business does. These are called expenditures. Expenditures are also of further two types. The first type of expenditure is capital expenditure. Okay, capital expenditure, as it was capital receipts, it is same like capital expenditure. They will be non-recurring in nature. That is, they will be not be occurring regularly in the business. They will be occurring after a certain period of time, non-recurring in nature. They are also major amount. They will involve major amount, very big amount will be involved. Okay, so what type of expenditures can be called as capital expenditures, which will be used in the business? That type of expenditures which will be creating future business use. Okay, like for example, we have purchased an asset, purchase of asset. Assets helps us in doing business, so it is for future business use. Assets obviously will be of a very high amount. If we have to purchase a car for business, land or building, it will be of a major amount. Plus it will be non-recurring. We will be not be purchasing the assets very frequently. We will not purchase car every month or every year, until and unless we are doing the business of purchasing and selling cars. If we are doing it as a asset, if we are purchasing it as an asset, we will not be doing it very regularly, so it will be non-recurring. Obviously it will be of a very big amount, plus it will be giving us the benefit in the future to the business. Okay, so these types of expenditures are called capital expenditures. The next type of expenditure is revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure means the expenditures which are recurring in nature. Recurring in nature means they will occur very frequently. Okay, they will be of very small amounts, and they will be on consumption basis. Expenditures will be on consumption basis. Consumption basis means they will be consumed within a month. The expenditure will be consumed within a month or so. Okay, like we are paying salaries to the employees. Okay, we are paying rent of the business property, we are purchasing the goods. These will be the regular expenditure, and these will be on the consumption basis. When we consume them, their benefit finishes, and we have to do the expenditure again. Okay, Then next thing is debtors. What are debtors? When we sell the goods on credit, okay, when we sell the goods on credit, sell on credit means we have sold some goods or asset to some person on credit. On credit means he has promised that he will be paying us later on, therefore he will be paying us later on. So these are the amounts due from the person. These are the amounts due from third party. Why it is due? Because we have sold him on the credit. So the amounts due from the third party, because we had sold him on credit, is called debtor. That person will be called our debtor. All right. Then the next thing is creditor. Creditor will be when we purchase on credit. Will be purchase on credit. Purchase on credit means we have taken the goods and we have promised the person that we will be paying you later on. Okay. So these will be the amounts due to. These will be the amounts due to. Due to means we have to pay them to third party. Why we have to pay them? Because we have purchased from them on credit and we had promised that we will be paying you the amounts later on. All right. These are some basic terms which you had to understand before starting the chapter. Okay. Now let us come to the basics of the chapter. The first thing is, what is the concept of accounting equation? Concept of accounting equation. Okay. So first thing is, it is a dual aspect concept. Dual aspect concept. Dual aspect concept means give and take is equal. It is on the basis of give and take basis. Okay. So in simple language, if we have to say, it is like total input in business will be equal to total output generated. Total output generated. Okay. What does we input in the business? We put some internal own investment. We does our own investment. Okay. Or the other parties, outside parties does the investment. So outside investment. These are the, these two things are the total input in the business. Okay. And what output does we get? We get available resources. Available resources are generated. We get the resources to use them. Okay. What is our own investment? Our own investment is a capital. And what is the outside investment? Outside investment is the liabilities. And what will be our available resources? From these capital and liabilities, we purchase assets. So these will be equal to assets. Therefore, our accounting equation says that capital plus liability will be equal to assets. Okay. Then some important points what we need to understand and remember are, if there are incomes, I'm talking about revenue incomes, okay, and profits, these will increase the capital. Okay, all right. And if we have expenses, I'm talking about revenue expenses, okay, or we have losses, these will decrease the capital. Why I'm talking about revenue expenses and revenue losses? Because of capital expenses, we have generated the assets, okay, and of capital expenditure, sorry, capital incomes, we have generated the liabilities. Okay, so the leftovers, which are revenue items, these will be adjusted in the capital. Okay, Now let us take an example and do one question of accounting equation. Okay. Our example, the basic line is express the following. Express the following transactions in form of accounting equation. Okay, now let us draw the format of accounting equation. The first column will be serial number, second will be the transaction, third will be assets is equals to liabilities plus capital. Okay. After every transaction, this equation should be equal. Total of assets will always be equal to total of liabilities plus capital. Okay. You have to check it after each transaction. Let us write the first transaction. Our first transaction is Mr. X started business with cash. Okay. If he will start the business with cash, let us say rupees 80,000. Okay. His capital will come in the business because, as previously I have said, capital investment in the business, the amount invested by the proprietor in the business is called capital. Therefore, his capital will increase and his one asset, cash, will also come. What are the assets? Assets are the physical things in objects which are having money value. Cash is having money value, and these helps in generating future cash flows in the business. So this cash will be used in generating further cash. Therefore, one asset, cash, will come and our capital of 80,000 will be generated from the first transaction. All right. Now, let us see our second transaction. Our second transaction is he purchased furniture for cash. Furniture for cash, rupees 55,000. Okay. He has used his cash 55,000. Therefore, his cash will decrease by 55,000. So cash is now 25,000. And he has purchased furniture. So the furniture will be used in the business. So another asset comes out, that is furniture of 55,000. There is no effect on the liability. Liability is 0 and our capital remains same as 80,000. All right. This was our second transaction. Now the third transaction. He purchased goods on credit. Purchased goods on credit. Okay. For rupees 20,000. He purchased on goods on credit. Credit means he has promised that he will be paying it later on. Therefore, his cash will not be changing. Cash will remain as 25 only. And furniture is also not changing. There is no change in the furniture. But he has purchased some goods. Therefore, a stock will come. Some stock will come of 20,000. Okay. And he has promised that he will be paying it later on. And the promises which are to be paid later on, it is the financial obligation to be paid later on. Therefore, it becomes liability. 20,000 is the liability which will be paid later on. and his capital remains unchanged. Okay, this was our third transaction. Then number 4, purchased goods for cash. Purchased goods for cash. He purchased goods for cash rupees 15,000. Now if we will purchase goods for cash 15,000, his cash will decrease. It will now become 10,000. Furniture will remain unchanged as 55,000, and he has purchased the goods. Therefore, his stock will increase by 15,000. Now it will become 35,000. And he has purchased on cash, right? Not on credit. Therefore, his cash got decreased. Now his creditors will remain unchanged. Creditors will not increase. Creditors will be generated only if he has done it on credit. All right, is equals to 80,000. Okay. Now let us go to the fifth transaction. Transaction number 5. It is he sold goods for cash. Sold goods for cash. 5,000. Sold goods for cash means his cash got increased. If he will sell something for cash, his cash will increase by 5,000. Furniture, no change. And if he will sell, his stock will decrease. Stock will decrease by 5,000, 30,000. And liability will remain same and capital will remain same. All right. Okay. Next transaction. Sold goods on credit. Sold goods on credit rupees 4,000. If he will sold goods on credit, cash will not be affected because he had sold it on credit. Okay. Furniture will also not be affected. His stock will be decreased by 4,000. So it becomes 26,000. And a new asset, debtor, will come. Debtor is the person who is liable to pay to us in the future. Okay. He will be paying to us in the future. He is a future benefit. Therefore, it is an asset. All right. Our liability remains unchanged. Our creditor of 20,000 remains unchanged, and our capital remains unchanged. Okay. Then next, seventh transaction. Seventh transaction is paid rent. Paid rent rupees 1,000. Paid rent means he has payment made from cash. Therefore, his cash will decrease by 1,000. Furniture remains unchanged. Stock will also remain unchanged. And his debtor will obviously also remain unchanged. So payment of rent is the payment of expense. And I told you earlier that payment of expenses or losses will decrease the capital. Therefore, the capital of 80,000 will now be decreased by 1,000. It becomes 79,000. All right. And then last thing, he paid school fees of his children rupees 2,000. Payment of school fees he must have done from cash, 2,000 cash of business. All right. So it becomes 12,000. Furniture remains same as 55,000. Stock remains same of 26,000, and his debtor remains same of 4,000. And payment of personal expenses, drawings means decrease in capital, therefore his capital will decrease and now become 77,000. So you can check it at every step that our accounting equation should be same. Okay, this is for it for today. Thank you so much for watching this video.